Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah. Alhamdulillah. Today again, final Jummah of Ramadan. It's very sad to see Ramadan started. It feels like Ramadan started just yesterday. It went away so fast. You know, this is the nature of life. That close to Yawmul Qiyamah, time will actually be very, very fast. Time will go so fast that a week will be like a day will be like an hour will be like a minute, and a minute will be like a moment. Everything will be very, very quick. And you'll see that these days we have less barakah, less blessings in our times. We can get less stuff done with our time. Why? Because this is the nature, close to Yawmul Qiyamah. We lose all our blessings in time. We can get a lot less done with our day than previous generations who used to get a lot more done with their day. So that's why Ramadan started. It feels like just yesterday. And we should be sad to see Ramadan go. After today, only 2 more days, Saturday and Sunday. By Sunday evening, it'll be the 1st of Shawwal. So this is something, if we're true believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we really believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should be sad to see Ramadan go. That the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, after Ramadan, they would actually spend this next 6 months being upset that Ramadan is gone. And then the following 6 months, they would prepare for the next Ramadan. That they were so excited for Ramadan that they would actually take proper 6 months preparation. And even in this day and age, we can also take preparation for the next Ramadan. Just because Ramadan ended doesn't mean our fasting has to end. Just because Ramadan is ending doesn't mean we have to stop fasting. It comes in a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man sama Ramadan fa atba'ahu bi sittin min Shawwal kana ka siyamid dahr." A person who fasts Ramadan, just like we fasted Ramadan this year, and then he follows it up with 6 fasts of Shawwal, it is as if he fasted for all of the year. And if he does this every year, then it's like he's perpetually fasting. So fasting Ramadan and then 6 days from Shawwal. So after Eid, obviously, from 2nd of Shawwal onwards, some ulama say it's better to just do it 6 days in a row from 2nd of Shawwal until the 7th. But then, of course, the majority of ulama say that you are allowed to take it easy and spread your fasts throughout Shawwal. You don't have to do 6 days in a row. You can spend the whole month and do any 6 days throughout the month besides the 1st of Shawwal, of course, because 1st of Shawwal is Eid. So other than that, you can fast any of the other days of Shawwal. And why is it that fasting 6 days of Shawwal makes it so that it's like you're fasting forever? That the reason is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ مَنْ جَاءَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ فَلَهُ عَشْرُ أَمْثَالِهَا. Whoever does a good deed, he gets tenfold reward. He gets tenfold reward. وَمَنْ جَاءَ بِالسَّيِّئَةِ فَلَا يُجْزَى إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا. But then when someone does a sin, he doesn't get 10 times the sin. He only gets that one sin. And then Allah can forgive and remove that sin through tawbah. But when you do a good deed, you get at least tenfold reward. So if you fast 30 days of Ramadan plus 6 days of Shawwal, you fasted 36 days in a year. If you multiply it by 10 times reward, that's 360 days. And of course, in the Islamic calendar, the year is only 355 days. So that means that it's like you fasted the whole year. So this is also important. And then there's other optional fasts that one can do. One can do the fasting of Ayyamul Bid, which are the brightly lit nights which are the middle nights, 13th, 14th, and 15th of every month, every Islamic month, not Gregorian month, but every Islamic month. Why? Because on the 13th, 14th, and 15th day, and those nights as well, there is a full moon. So that's why it's brightly lit. Ayamul Beed. Beed means bayad, like white or bright. So these are the brightly lit nights, and so we should fast on those days. 3 days every month. 3 days every month. 13th, 14th, 15th of every month, Islamic month. And again, if you fast 3 days a month, multiply by 10, it's like you fasted 30 days every month, just by fasting 3 months. Why? 3 days. Why is it that by fasting 3 days you get the reward of 30 days? Because every single good deed is multiplied by 10 by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a statement of Allah and a promise of Allah in the Holy Quran. So we must believe in it, because the Holy Quran is haqq, it is the truth. So, and then there's other fasts that one can do, Monday and Thursday. And similarly, we also do all the optional fasts of Yawmul Ashura and Yawmul Arafah, so on and so forth. So there's plenty of opportunity. The reason why I'm mentioning, there's plenty of opportunity to earn reward outside of Ramadan. It's not as if only Ramadan is our chance to cash in and it's our only chance to do good deeds. No, there's opportunity to get multiplication of rewards all throughout the year. So one lesson that I want to share with you from Ramadan, because that's what the topic of this lecture is the lessons that we can learn from Ramadan. What are the lessons? That whatever a'mal, whatever deeds we did in Ramadan, we should try to continue them outside of Ramadan. Try to consider these, continue these things, continue these deeds outside of Ramadan. Even if we do less, but at least we should do something. For example, in Ramadan, we prayed lots of Qiyamul Layl. Even in this masjid, we prayed Qiyamul Layl. But at least, outside of Ramadan, someone should try to get up at Tahajjud time and even pray 2 rakats. Even 2 rakats takes maybe 5-10 minutes, depending on how long you pray. So we should not stop completely. I know in Ramadan we spend hours in Qiyamul Layl, getting up at 3 a.m. But at least outside of Ramadan, even 2 rakats at night would be, you would be one of those people who are continuing their a'mal from Ramadan. And even it is said, and I mentioned this in another lecture, that a person who only does a'mal during Ramadan and then outside of Ramadan he does nothing, that person is not a person who worshipped Allah, he's a person who worshipped Ramadan. Because Ramadan has ended, but Allah is still watching. Allah is still sustaining us. Allah is still providing us with a good life in this country, providing us with sustenance, allowing us to breathe, allowing us to live. We still need to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even outside of Ramadan. Just because Ramadan has ended doesn't mean our worship should end. Allah is providing for us all throughout the year, every single second, every single breath we take. It is by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, we will stop breathing and we will breathe our last, and our soul will be extracted from our body by the angel of death. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is providing for us every single moment that we live in this life. Even some of the bounties of Allah, we don't even think about it. The bounty of air, the fact that we're able to breathe air, the fact that we're able to breathe air for free. We don't have to pay for air. We don't have to pay for that. I know there's some patients in the hospital who need the artificial oxygen, and they have to pay lots and lots of money for it. Thousands of dollars for a tank of oxygen. But we're getting it for free. We're breathing air just completely for free. So these are the things we don't even think about, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is allowing us to breathe, allowing us to live in this world, allowing us to sleep every day. When a person goes to sleep, his soul is taken out of his body. Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mawtiha wallati lam tamut. Obviously, when we pass away, Allah takes away our soul. But the one who hasn't passed away, wallati lam tamut, the one who hasn't passed away, his soul gets taken out of his body when he's sleeping. Fi manamiha. When we go to sleep, our soul is taken out of our body. It's mentioned in Surah Zumar, in the 24th juz. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes away our soul when we sleep. When we wake up, our soul is returned to our body. And that's why when we wake up, what's the masnoon dua that we recite? Alhamdulillahi alladhi ahyana. All praise be to Allah who gave us life again. Ba'da ma amatana. After he caused us to pass away. In other words, death is like sleep is like a minor death. Sleep is like a minor death. Why? Your soul leaves your body. So all praise to Allah who caused us to come back to life after he took our life away. Our soul left our body during our sleep. Wa ilayhin nushur. And to him is our return and our resurrection. When we become resurrected, we will return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all these bounties. You know, even the bounty of our kidney, that we can, the kidney filters out all the toxins for free. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us these kidneys for free. Right? The kidneys do their job, filter out the toxins, and we don't even have to pay anything. But then, of course, we know some people in this world, they have issues with their kidneys and they have to do dialysis several hours every single day. And this is a huge hassle for them. We don't have to do dialysis. We don't need to manually take out the toxins or filter out the toxins from our body. No, our kidney does this for us. This is all from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine these people who have to do dialysis several hours a day. They have to pay for it. In many countries, healthcare is not free. They have to pay for this dialysis. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us good health, alhamdulillah, made it so we don't have to do dialysis, and Allah gave us these kidneys for free. We didn't have to pay for it. Allah created us with these kidneys, fully functioning, healthy kidneys, and our toxins are filtered for free. So there's all these things we need to be thankful for to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for. And so we should be thankful to Allah all throughout the year. Just because Ramadan has ended doesn't mean we stop thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Unfortunately, when I was growing up in Sydney, I saw many people in the community. Again, I'm new to Mackay, I don't know what happens here. But I saw many people in the community in Sydney. They would pray all throughout Ramadan, and then on Eid, they wouldn't even wake up for Fajr. They wouldn't wake up for Fajr, and then they would pray the Eid Salah, and then the whole day they would enjoy, go to people's houses, but they would leave their prayer. They would leave the 5 times daily prayer. Like they wouldn't wake up for Fajr, even Dhuhr, they're busy hanging out with friends, socializing, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, nothing. Just only Eid prayer. Even though the 5 times daily Salah are fard, they're obligatory, and the Eid Salah, according to the Jamhur, according to most ulama, the Eid Salah is sunnah mu'akkada. It's not fard, it's not even wajib. Only according to the Hanafis, the Eid Salah is wajib. Only according to the Hanafis, the Eid Salah is wajib. According to all other madhahib, including the Shawafi'ah, it's sunnah mu'akkada. So I actually asked my father that, I'm not sure if he remembers, I actually asked my father when I was young, that everyone's praying the Eid Salah, such a huge congregation, but then everyone's leaving all the other Salats. Is Salah not obligatory on Eid? Is Salah like something that people don't pray on Eid? Is like Eid like a break from Salah, like we don't have to pray anymore? We get a break every single year, 2 days every year, every Eid. But actually this is not the case. So we spent so much time and we did so much hard work to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Ramadan. We should not stop this as soon as Eid comes around. As soon as Eid, like, it's like we switch off the engine. No, we need to keep the engine running. We need to keep the car going. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is keeping us alive, keeping us breathing. We don't need to think even to breathe. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows breathing to happen automatically for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala automatically filters out the toxins from our body through the creation of our kidneys and our livers. So, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing all of this for us, every single second Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing us with life, we should be thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every single day of the year. So let us not stop worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as soon as Ramadan is over. And then the final message I want to convey to the brothers, most importantly, we only have 2.5 days left for Ramadan. We need to pray. We need to pay our sadaqatul fitr, our zakatul fitr before Eid. A lot of us donate these things online. Don't forget, it takes time for the money to go from your bank account to the institution or the, like the charity fund. It takes time for the money to reach them. And then from that charity fund, it takes time for them to prepare the food and give it to the poor people. So please, if anyone has not given their sadaqatul fitr yet, please, we need to do this immediately. By today, by close of business today, because the banks are going to close soon. If anyone hasn't given their sadaqatul fitr, do it before, even I would advise 4 p.m. today. So that the money can, hopefully, inshallah, if everything goes well, the money can reach the bank account of the charity organization tomorrow. And then by Sunday, they can start preparing the food. And then by Monday, they can distribute the food. We would hope, if everything goes well. I don't know how these charity organizations work. So, farada Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam zakat al-fitri min Ramadan. That Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has ordained zakatul fitr in Ramadan. Ordained meaning, according to the most ulama, it is wajib. It is compulsory for us to give sadaqatul fitr. Sa'an min tamr. Sa' is a old measurement. There's a difference of opinion how much one sa' weighs. According to some ulama, it weighs 4.8 kilos. According to the Hanafis, it weighs 3.2 kilos. So you pay one sa' of dates or a sa' of sha'ir, which is barley. And then, ala al-abdi wal-hur, it is obligatory upon a free person and a slave, wal-dhakari wal-untha, male and female, wal-saghir wal-kabir. This is important for children as well. If you have children, you need to pay for your children. And kabir, obviously, you pay for yourself. Min al-muslimin wa amara biha. وَأَمَرَ بِهَا أَن تُؤَدَّى قَبْلَ خُرُوجِ النَّاسِ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ. So it has to be done before the Eid Salah. But again, we have to give, if we're giving it online, we should give it by today so that the poor people can get it before Eid Salah. And this hadith is from Bukhari and Muslim. So inshallah, I'll leave it at that for today. So let's make sure we pay our zakatul fitr by today, because we're all paying it online. I know we're all paying it online, so let's do it by today so that the poor people can get their food before the Eid Salah. Inshallah. And this sadaqatul fitr is an expiation for all the mistakes that we made during Ramadan. I know most people, their Ramadan is not perfect. Maybe accidentally we did a bit of ghiba, backbiting, maybe talking evil things, looking at the wrong things. Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us for our weaknesses, but we need to give this zakatul fitr so that it can be an expiation for all those unintentional mistakes we made throughout Ramadan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Josh, adhan please.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah, asyhadu an la ilaha illallah, asyhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah, asyhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. فيا إخوة الإيمان قد أنعم الله تعالى علينا بشهر رمضان هذا الشهر العظيم الذي هو مدرسة للتقوى والتزكية وتهذيب النفوس، وقد جعل الله فيه لنا فرصا كثيرة للرقي في درجات العبادة والقرب منه. فمن دروس رمضان: أولا التقوى، فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه: يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. فالصيام يعلمنا كيف نضبط أنفسنا ونجاهد أهواءنا ونتخلق بأخلاق الصابرين. ثانيا الإخلاص في العبادة، فرمضان يربينا على أن نكون مخلصين في أعمالنا، لأن الصيام عبادة خفية بين العبد وربه، فلا يعلم أحد حقيقة صيامك إلا الله. وهذا يعلمنا أن نجعل جميع أعمالنا لوجه الله وحده. ثالثا حب القرآن، فشهر رمضان هو شهر القرآن، ويتضاعف فيه حب القراءة والتدبر. وإذا كنا في رمضان نكثر من تلاوة الكتاب العزيز، فلا ينبغي لنا أن نجهره بعده. رابعا الاعتياد على القيام والصلاة، فقد كان المسلم في رمضان مواظبا على التراويح والقيام، فلا ينبغي أن يتكاسل بعده، بل يجب علينا أن نحرص على قيام الليل ولو بركعتين. والسؤال هنا: كيف نواصل العمل الصالح بعد رمضان؟ أولا تثبيت العبادة، فلا تكن عبادتنا مجرد حالة مؤقتة في رمضان، بل نستمر في الصيام ولو بصيام أيام الاثنين والخميس أو الأيام البيض. ثانيا الاستمرار في قراءة القرآن، فليكن لنا ورد يومي من القرآن حتى لا نجهر كتاب الله. ثالثا المواظبة على الذكر والدعاء، فكما كنا في رمضان نكثر من الدعاء والاستغفار، فلا نترك ذلك بعده، بل نحرص على أن يكون ذكر الله دائما على ألسنتنا. رابعا المداومة على الصدقة، فقد تعلمنا في رمضان أن نعطي ونساعد الفقراء، فلا تكن صدقاتنا في رمضان فقط، بل لنحاول أن نجعلها من عاداتنا الدائمة. وفي الختام فإن من تقبل الله منه صيام رمضان وقيامه سيظهر ذلك في أثر رمضان على سلوكه وعبادته بعده. فمن كان صادقا في عبادته في رمضان سيكون مواظبا على الطاعة بعده. نسأل الله أن يثبتنا على الطاعة وأن يجعلنا من عباده المخلصين. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، فيا إخوة الإيمان، نتكلم اليوم عن صدقة الفطر، وهي من العبادات العظيمة التي شرعها الله تعالى تزكية للصائم وإحسانا للفقراء، وقد فرضها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على كل مسلم، كما جاء في حديث ابن عمر رضي الله عنهما. فرض رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم زكاة الفطر من رمضان صاعا من تمر أو صاعا من شعير على العبد والحر والذكر والأنثى والصغير والكبير من المسلمين، وأمر بها أن تؤدى قبل خروج الناس إلى الصلاة. رواه البخاري ومسلم. ومن حكمة صدقة الفطر تطهير الصائم من اللغو والرفث الذي قد يكون وقع فيه في رمضان، إدخال الفرحة على الفقراء يوم العيد حتى لا يكون فيه أحد محتاجا، إظهار التضامن والتراحم بين المسلمين، ويجب أن تخرج صدقة الفطر قبل صلاة العيد، ويستحب تحديدها بمقدار صاع من الطعام كالتمر أو الشعير أو الأرز أو ما يعادله من النقود حسب حاجة الفقراء في كل زمان ومكان. وفي الختام نحرص جميعا على أداء هذه الفريضة في وقتها وبنية خالصة حتى يكون عيدنا مباركا وممتلئا بالطهر والإحسان. نسأل الله أن يتقبل منا ومنكم، وكل عام وأنتم بخير، وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي